Well, good morning, guys. Welcome to another episode of the Back Bay vlog. Now, it's an early start at the refuge this morning, just after 6 o'clock. And overnight, we had torrential rain and thunderstorms. So it's a bit wet here this morning. But the heat and the humidity is rising up, drying it out quite nicely. So we're going to go for a walk around this morning, see if we can find anything. So why don't you come along and join me? Let's go and walk down the trails.
As you make your way down various trails, keep your eyes open and your camera ready, as any time a cottonmouth can cross the trail in front of you, a dragonfly or butterfly can appear alongside you, a rough green snake along the tree line, or a marsh rabbit grazing in the grass. Walking further into the refuge and heading down the dike trails, it's possible to see a raccoon family feeding on crayfish in the shallow water, an otter running down the trail, and sometimes the occasional rare visitor.
Now, you might have noticed I've got a rain cover on the end of my lens. Although we did have that heavy rain overnight, it's not supposed to rain again until later this afternoon, but walking underneath all these trees, there's a chance that water could drop down into the end of my lens, so I'm just protecting it that way. And also with the humidity being so high, it's about 92%, so very humid. So I don't really want a chance of my lens fogging up, so that cover's going to help stop doing that as well. And I just have to whip it off quick if I see anything. So just got to remember to do that. I've done that before. But hey, why is everything so black? Yeah, your rain cover's on the end of your lens, mate. Anyway, as you can see, walking down the Sunset Point overlook, the boardwalk's very wet. So I'm going to take my time walking through here. Don't want to end up on my backside. So yep, nice breeze going on as well. Makes it a bit more bearable with the humidity. So on my way down Raptor Trail to start things off, let's see if we can find anything down here. Now hopefully the mic's picking it up, but with all its moisture and wetness around, the frogs are in good chorus this morning. Oh. Water levels are very high as well. There's a bit of water coming up through the bridge, so again, watching my step. But yeah, beautiful sound of those frogs this morning. You can hear them there in the reeds. We've got the sun coming up over there as well. Beautiful start to the morning. We've got a red-winged blackbird up there, blowing around in the wind. Off he goes. Yeah. You can hear plenty of them around here. Just back up there on the tree again. I'd say the sky's looking pretty this morning. Nice colours during the early hours of the morning. Yeah, I can hear you. Good morning to you too. Now, it's been about 5 weeks since I was last here, and you can see the benefit of having this rain cover down here. All these trees that I'm going underneath. Like I said, saves any water dropping on the end of my lens. But anyway, been about 5 weeks since I was last here. I don't usually go that length of time without being here. You know, I normally come and try and be here like every 1 or 2 weeks, but stuff's been going on. And also, I made a couple of visits to Pleasure House Point, hoping to make a video that I've been wanting to do for a long while. And that's to film and photograph diamondback terrapins during the nesting season. So if you haven't checked out that video, I'll leave a link down in the description for you. Plenty of noise going on around here this morning. Anyway, getting distracted. Anyway, yeah, like I said, I'll leave a link down in the description. I won't say too much about it in case you haven't seen it. I don't want to spoil it for you, but let's just say it was an amazing experience. But this morning we're back at Back Bay. So time to walk around and see if we can find some wildlife. Well, beautiful look there across the retention pool. And I say the water level's very high here this morning. Just pan down here, you can see how high it is underneath the boardwalk. That's from all that rain overnight. It really did come down, so I don't think we're going to see too much along the edges here this morning. I'll keep my eyes out just in case. Some nice dragonflies out there. Look to be 4 spotted pennants. And, you know, with me not being here for about the last 5 weeks, there would have been quite a lot of stuff appearing that I didn't get to see at the time it arrived. So, especially dragonfly species. So I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing some today. So I'm just going to walk down the end of the boardwalk here. See if there's anything about. I mean, as I said, it is very windy. The water's very choppy up here, as you can see. Whew. Really helps with that humidity though, so I'm not complaining. Yep, there you go. Should have brought my surfboard with me, shouldn't I? Anyway, see that 4 spotted pennant just now? Haven't seen anything else. And I was hoping we might get to see some green tree frogs today, especially early this morning after all that rain. But this is one area here that's usually quite good for them, but not seeing anything else here. But as usual, we'll come back down Raptor Trail a bit later on this morning. But for now, let's walk on down towards the east and west side. Oh, got a marsh rabbit there on the edge of the trail. Good morning, my young friend. Off he goes into the bushes. Oh, there's a young cottonmouth there, just making its way off the trail. Off into the bush. That's a perfect example of their behaviour as well. You know, you get people saying, oh, they're aggressive, they'll strike at you, they'll chase you. But as you saw just then, as I made my way down the trail, it sensed I was there and it just bolted off. Wanted nothing to do with me. And that's what they do. Too many false tales around about those beautiful snakes. There we go, we're starting to see things this morning. Marsh rabbit and a cottonmouth. I did see a couple of baby marsh rabbits on the way into the refuge this morning. Just sitting along the edge of the roadway. And there you go. Now it's starting to warm up a bit. And the wildlife are coming out. That's a good sign for us. Oh, got a little rat down there as well. There he is. Wondering what the hell I'm doing. I'm just catching a bit of film of you. Well, that was cool. Those little guys usually bolt off as soon as you see them. But he hung around. Managed to get a nice bit of film and also some photos. Beautiful little cottonmouth as well off the trail. Another red-winged blackbird up there. Yeah, good morning. Fantastic start to the morning. Anyway, I'm heading off Raptor Trail now. Let's carry on down into the other parts of the refuge. There's another marsh rabbit there. Just running down the side. And there's another one of those rats down there too. Let's see if I can get down here before he disappears. There he goes. That's what they normally do. They just bolt off. So it's really cool that we got to spend a bit of time with that one down Raptor Trail. Anyway, as you can see, a bit of flooding along the path. Just making my way around here now. And off we go. Down the east and west side. There's another marsh rabbit down there as well. Just running down the side of the trail. Plenty of them around this morning. There he goes, hopping down the side there. off into the grasses. Considering how bad the weather was earlier on this morning, oh, there goes a great egret. And I can see another marsh rabbit down here. Plenty of birds singing too. So much activity down here this morning. Oh, I left my phone back there and grabbed my camera to try and get a few shots of this marsh rabbit, and as I started to come down the opposite side to where it is, there was another cottonmouth here, but bolted off into the grass. Wasn't able to record it, unfortunately. But yeah, second cottonmouth this morning already. That marsh rabbit's over there still, so let's try and get a few shots now. Oh, so I've got a white-tailed deer there, just looking at me down the east side of the trail. I'm going to carry on walking down the west so I don't spook her. Let's see if we can get a bit of film. There she goes, just crossing the water. That's the first time I've caught that on film before. Unfortunately, it's on the phone, so it's a bit of a distance away, but cool to capture it anyway. He's just making her way down the side there now. Well, it's definitely a lot of activity going on this morning. I think after being hunkered down all night during the storms, the wildlife is on the move this morning. And we're seeing plenty of it so far. It's been a number of things I haven't been able to capture on film as well as that cottonmouth, which surprised me really when I was going down to get the shots of that marsh rabbit. While I was actually photographing the marsh rabbit, a bit further down the trail, it looked like there was a mud turtle crossing over. But by the time I finished taking the photos and started to walk down there, it disappeared, so couldn't see it anywhere along the side of the trail either. But definitely a morning to keep your eyes open. You just never know when something's going to pop up. Talking of which, another marsh rabbit just on the edge of the trail. Now just walking down the trail on the west side. Got a couple of Needham skimmers over here. First opportunity of photographing a dragonfly this morning. Now hopefully there's not too much glare on the back of the camera. And I apologise if it's a bit dirty as well, but you can see that I pretty much now focus on the head of the dragonfly. Slightly off, but with all this wind, makes it a bit more difficult. But I got my shutter speed up at 1/1000th of a second. I'm in servo mode, back button focus. And I was able to pretty much grab focus on the dragonfly itself. So that worked out. But in windy conditions, just make sure you're in servo mode as well. Makes a difference with the movement, and it'll refocus once it comes back onto that focus point. My hands are a bit shaky as well. Getting on in age, you know. Anyway, let's carry on the walk around. Now, I've been seeing a lot of Needham skimmer dragonflies down here, and the yellow-back ones we've been photographing are the females. I've seen a couple of the males, which are more of a bright red kind of colour. So far, they've eluded me whenever I've gone to grab my camera, but there's one down here. So let's get down and give it a go. Now, I'm seeing a lot more dragonflies this morning, and there's a few Halloween pennants along here. So far, I haven't been able to get any photos, but you might just about be able to see them moving around in the view of the phone. Hopefully soon we'll manage to get a photo of one. And I'm seeing quite a few dragonflies down here as well. A couple of different ones that I've already photographed this morning, so let's see if I can get a couple of these. I've got a male eastern pondhawk, a female Needham skimmer, and a closer look at her back detail, a female eastern pondhawk, and also a beautifully coloured blue dasher. Well, managed to get a few more species of dragonflies along the reeds now, so I'm going to head on down the West Dyke Trail now, see if we can see anything down here. As I mentioned at the start of the video, it's been a while since I've been here, so I haven't been keeping an eye on the ospreys as much as I would have liked to. I can see the nest station over there, so I'm going to stop here for a minute, zoom in, see how they're doing. I was able to see what looked to be both adults on the nest, presumably the male on the top and the female in the nest itself. Well, apart from a big old yellow belly slider that was moving across the trail ahead of me, and I was too slow to get to it before it disappeared into the grass at the side of the trail, I'm not seeing a great deal down here this morning. We've got a great egret over there, trying to lift this up a bit so it gets above the reeds. Let's say apart from those couple of things and a few of those rats as well. And actually bumped into my friend Rich earlier. I asked him if he knew what those rats were, and he said they're just simply known as marsh rats. So pretty simple name for them. Should have thought of that one myself, shouldn't I? Anyway, I'm going to walk a bit further down here and see if there's anything a bit further down the west side. Now, just over on this side, there's the other osprey nest station. Looks like there's one on the nest over there, so I'm going to stop here and zoom in, see how these guys are doing as well. At the time of filming this video, it was the 23rd of June, and a number of weeks since we last saw the nest. The eggs had hatched, and as you're about to see, the babies were doing well and seen here being fed by one of the adults. Unfortunately, this would be the last time I got to observe the nest this year, as the West Dyke Trail was closed to the public in July and the East Dyke Trail was open. Although it's disappointing to not be able to see the young ones grow and fledge the nest, this was such a great sight to see, and I hope all went well for them. Now we've got a swallowtail butterfly there. I believe it's an eastern swallowtail. Not too good on my butterfly species, so I don't think it's going to settle enough to get any photos, but now off it goes. Beautiful looking butterfly though. I've seen a few here this morning, but none of them were settled enough for me to get a shot, but great to see them. Well, finally, I was able to encounter a swallowtail butterfly that was patient enough to sit around and let me get a few shots. It took off a couple of times, so I was able to get a few from different angles, but finally this morning, managed to get a few photos of one. Well, that's what you call a close encounter. Just coming back down the West Dyke Trail. And we've got a great egret fishing in front of the overflow. And off it goes. It's over on the other side now. Well, we've got ourselves a tiny little frog on the trail here. It's going to look like a tiny little dot on the phone, so I'm going to try and zoom in on the other camera. Now it's starting to cloud over a bit. We are supposed to get some possible severe weather again later on. Heavy rain and thunderstorms. Hopefully not while I'm walking around, but anyway, I'm heading down off West Dyke Trail now. Let's see if we can find anything else around other parts of the refuge. Well, just making my way down the trail like I said. And we've got a turtle down here in between the rocks, just making its way down to the water. Oh, I didn't see that. There goes a northern water snake as well. That went down into the water. That's what you call a 2-for-1. Turtle down here, and then if I can follow it down here a bit, a northern water snake just stuck down under the weeds in the water. How cool was that? Well, it's farewell to the West Dyke Trail for this morning. I'm going to head on over to the east side, head over to the wildlife lookout, sit down, have something to eat and drink. It's definitely getting hot today. And then we'll carry on walking around and make our way back down to Raptor Trail. Well, we've got another swallowtail and it's right down there on the trail. I'm going to try and get a couple of shots before it just... Nah. Didn't want to know, did it? It was off. Oh well. Managed to get it on film anyway. Thanks, mate, for nothing. All right. With the heat and humidity, I give it a matter of seconds before those deer fly on me. They smell that blood of the Englishman. Anyway, I'm going to go down here, get my phone on charge and go for a walk with my camera. And we'll see if we can find anything around the sides of the trails. Oh yes, those flies are on me. Well, I was going to say the awesome sound of the cicadas in the trees, but then a jet came over as well, so always trying to jump in on the action, ain't they? Anyway, I had to abandon my plans of walking down the trail while my phone was charging. Managed to get a few shots of a swallowtail through the slots in the wall of the wildlife lookout, but as soon as I got out onto the trail, those flies were on me. And this sort of time of year, they are really bad. I'm swatting away at them and they were biting my cheeks, the back of my neck, a couple flew in my eyes. And there's always one that you don't realise has landed on you until you feel that bite, and God, they really do bite. So if you do come down here, make sure you've got some kind of repellent on. I mean, I've got something on, but it's not really doing a great job. I don't know what you need to get rid of them, but just watch out if you come down here. So, all right, I'm going to head away from here now. I'm going to be walking down that side of the trail with the flies, so I'll probably turn the phone off so you don't hear me swearing every 5 seconds. Well, just down here along the edge of the water, there's a lot of dragonflies around. I can see some Halloween pennants as well, so I'm just going to stop here for 5 minutes, see if I can get a shot of those. I haven't managed to photograph one this year, so there's one right there in front of me. Hopefully it stays still long enough for me to photograph it. If it does, you'll see it in a second. Alright guys, I've just walked up on the turtle laying eggs on the side of the trail, so I'm going to stand back here and let her get on with it. Try and get a little bit of film at the same time. There she goes now, across the water. Well, how cool was that? Managed to stand back a distance and film the whole thing. She laid her eggs, covered them up, and then made her way across the trail and down into the water across there. Only had one person come past while she was doing that, and fortunately it didn't disturb her, so she was able to finish what she needed to do. What an amazing thing to witness. Well, after that storm and all the rain last night, today has turned out to be a scorcher. It's getting upwards of 90 degrees. And believe you me, I'm feeling it. My shirt is showing it too. So anyway, we've managed to just film that turtle. And while we're on the subject of turtles, we're into the last week of June now. So it is peak time for turtles finding nest sites and laying their eggs. So keep an eye out for our shelled friends. There's going to be plenty of occasions where you might see them crossing roads to get to nest sites. So be one of those kind people that stops and helps the turtle get across in the direction that it was heading. So eyes open, help our shelled friends. Let's get as many of those nest sites going as we can. All right, nearly at Raptor Trail. We'll go down there for the second time this morning. And then I think I'm going to wrap it up. Well, we've got a great blue heron in front of us. Seems to be trying to get down the end of the trail before I do. Off it goes. Well, a couple of king rails there. Full of surprises this morning, then, eh? Whew. Just about managed to get those. They went off back into the marsh. Ah, there goes our great blue heron friend. He was up in the tree that I'm just about to walk under. I thought he'd flown off before. Oh well, no snakes on our second trip down Raptor Trail this morning, so I'm going to head off home. It's getting on to about 12 o'clock now, so I've been here for about 6 hours. And with that humidity and this near 90-degree heat, I'm pretty knackered. Whew. I ain't no spring chicken anymore. Some people would say I'm crazy. I'll just say dedicated and probably a bit crazy. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this morning's walk around. As I said at the start, it's been about 5 weeks since I was last here. And what a welcome back here to the refuge, eh? So until the next one, guys, take care. Enjoy your wildlife photography, taking all that amazing nature therapy. And I'll see you again real soon. But for now, I need some AC.